sweet, it's gonna record this time. Hi, I'm Hannah, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to discuss my October wrap-up and my November TBR. I know last time I posted a video on this channel was like April, and I figured, you know, what better time than the present, since I figured out I can record videos on my phone, upload them to YouTube, and then download them and edit them and re-upload them. So, let's get to it. So, the first book I read in October was Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This book is a high fantasy that was honestly amazing. I would recommend it for older audiences, seeing as there is some inappropriate stuff for children. It's also very dense in the beginning, like you're just kind of thrust into this world and you don't really know what's happening, and through flashbacks Jay slowly shows us who Mia is and how she's become this way, and it's just like, it's a really good read, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars and totally recommend. The second book I read in October was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second in the Six of Crows duology, which I read Six of Crows earlier this year and I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorite reads of this year, and this was the follow-up, and I adored this book so much. In this book, I don't want to spoil anything. In this book, the crew returns from their impossible heist, and they have to set up a bunch of new heists and deals and whatnot to save Ketterdam, and it's so good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The third book I read in October was Bright Smoke, Cold Fire by Rosamund Hodge. This book was a Romeo and Juliet retelling that took place in a fantasy world through the point of view of Paris and a girl named Renajo? I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation. I don't know. But I had issues with this book. Like, the world building was really dense, and the plot in the beginning was really, really slow, and I really didn't like Paris at all. But the end really gripped me, and overall I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Her other books, Cruel Beauty and Crimson Bound, were very popular in the book community, and I've heard great things about them. And I still really want to pick them up, but this one was kind of a disappointment from what I've heard of her previous books. So. Lastly, I picked up Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I got an arc at San Diego Comic-Con, which I went to this summer, and I've never read a Marissa Meyer book before, so I figured why not start with this one. It's a Queen of Hearts retelling, and for some reason I went into it not expecting to love it, and I absolutely did. Like, this book was so good. We start out with this girl, Catherine, who has a very overbearing mother and a pushover father, and all she wants to do with her life is open a bakery and just kind of live out her dream. She doesn't want to get married, she doesn't want to be the Queen of Hearts, and the king tries to start courting her, and this mysterious jester appears, and it's such a good book. Like, I was so invested in it. I finished it in a few days, and if you get the chance, definitely pick this up. Like, it was so good. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Now for my November TBR. The first book I am already picked up technically in November, was The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. Sorry. This book takes place in space. It takes place in another galaxy. It's about this girl named Nemesis, who is a diabolic, which is a servant that you buy to protect you, and they're bonded to one person for their entire life, and they're sworn to protect them, and if, you know, they don't, they're disposed of, I guess. I don't know. But her master, Danya, is summoned to the intergalactic imperial emperor's court, and in their place they send Nemesis to, like, avoid, you know, the emperor killing Danya. And it's just, from there we have a bunch of court drama and politics, and it just was really good. I loved this book. It was one of my top reads of the year. The world building is so fantastic and the character building is fantastic, and I highly recommend it. It was basically a trilogy packed into one book, and it was amazing. So totally pick it up. Next on my list to read for October is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is an art copy. It doesn't come out until January, I think January 7th. I had to sell my soul for this copy, and by soul, I mean I traded away a different arc, but it felt like selling my soul. I'm already more than halfway through this book. This is a fantasy book. A girl named Scarlet who wants to go see this amazing show called Caraval, run by this guy named Legend. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. But Scarlet has never left this tiny island, and she has her sister to worry about. So in the beginning of the book, she's engaged to be married, and all she wants is to get out and protect her sister from her father, who's extremely abusive and just all around a terrible guy. From the first few seconds you see of him, you're like, I honestly hate this dude. Like, he's terrible. And she receives tickets to Caraval, and she doesn't want to go until her sister tricks her into it. And it turns out that her sister is a part of this magical Caraval game, and that Scarlet must find her before the end of the 5th day to win Caraval and return home to her island to meet her fiance and get married. So far, it's been a phenomenal book, and I'm excited to finish it. The next book I want to read in November is Marked by Alyssa Marie. This is a brand new release by one of my good friends. She's self-published, and she's been working on this novel for years, and I'm so proud of her for publishing it, and I'm so excited to read it. It's about werewolves. It's about this girl who has a mark that has marked her as the alpha's mate, I guess. And her parents taught her to cover it up for years, and nobody knew until she shifted and it became obvious that she was the alpha's mate. And this is all about how that story goes, and I'm really excited to read it because she honestly, Alyssa Marie, the author, has such a beautiful writing voice, and I'm just so excited. So I'm definitely hoping to get to this month. The next book I'm hoping to get to is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. Is that right? That's right. This is a graphic novel which has really cute illustrations, and I'm really, I bought this at Comic-Con to, I think, get it signed, but did I get it signed? I did! Look, she drew a shark! I don't know 100% what it's about, but I really know I know I really like the drawing style, and so I'm excited to read it. I think I'm gonna read it on Thanksgiving because that's when I'm trapped with my family and I have plenty of time to read, so why not? And the last book I want to pick up in November is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. This book came out earlier this year. I've had it since it came out, and it's not that big. It won't take that long to get through. I've heard only amazing things about it. It's a fantasy book about this girl who's trapped in a desert town, and the only two ways you leave are to get married or get dead. And she doesn't want, or the main character doesn't want either of those, so she has to escape. Somehow there's a mysterious guy involved. All I know is that it sounds really good, and I'm also considering reading this over Thanksgiving. So, yep. And that's all. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Hannah, and I will post another video soon.